What's going on, people? We were supposed to shoot this live a week ago. Not only are we not shooting this live, you're watching this as we're pre-recording it ahead of time. Hopefully on Monday, you guys are going to be watching this and enjoying our discussion on episode 4 of Moon Knight. Me and Ant, we are back. And we're going to give you our nitty-gritty thoughts on episode 4. What's going on, Ant?
Not much. Enjoying life, my friend. How are you?
Man, look, it's about to be Monday, bro. What you think?
True.
But yeah, so no, the last episode, Khonshu effectively got locked up.
He on timeout. He on 1,000-year timeout.
He decided to realign the stars again after he'd already screwed himself beforehand. And as soon as that happened, beginning of this episode, he was imprisoned. And of course, now Mark and Steven are put into a bad situation because they no longer have his power. And they're still schizophrenic, still the same, but without any capability of defending themselves or any kind of protection with the armor. So immediately they pass out, and Layla has to try to protect them. And she effectively does some kind of way with a prop device from the Batman, and she throws it in there and it blows up dynamite as opposed to a big explosion that looked like fireworks. But that's for a whole nother thing. So they get away, and they have a real in-depth conversation about how Mark was is not the best fit for this, and I got some thoughts on that. But what did you think about, I guess, the car ride and their conversation about, how Mark isn't doing what he's supposed to do, how he's keeping secrets, how he's a lone wolf. And then all of a sudden now Steven and Layla are starting to develop feelings and whatnot. I know we could be talking about other things. We could be talking about how Ethan Hawke still doesn't matter as a villain to me. But I'd rather talk about this unseemly love, or whatever you want to call it, between them two. So what do you say?
You forgot Mark, Steven, and Liliana? Is that her name? Liliana?
Yeah, Layla.
Even they're in a bad predicament because you got to put them all together. And they are thruple now. They are thruple. And
thruple, man.
They're in this together in more ways than one.
What they are is nasty. They just nasty.
Look at that love, security, and vulnerability while respecting someone's strength and agency. She got both best of both worlds right there. I think
bruh. She's a cheater, bruh.
How's she a cheater? She got abandoned. So
that first picture I just showed y'all, she attempted to try to kiss Steven. Steven kind of pushed back, like, yeah, nah, Mark was really trying to protect you or whatever. Then this ninja go back and he kisses her. No. So look, I'll say it like this, right? I'll put it to you like this. If my wife, right, like, I just go and jettison, just jet. Like, she had a relationship with me for 11 years, married for 11 years, and all of a sudden, I like check out, and I'm gone for like 3+ years, and now I come back, into her life, but I'm not myself. Like, I am literally a completely different person. She knows inside I'm still there. But there's another entity there that's talking to her, and she just decides to kiss them and interact with them and have a relationship with them, knowing full well the real version of her life is in. I'm sorry.
You left for 3 years. That's like that guy from Married with Children that left the show and tried to come back, and he was married. She was married to the other guy. You tried. Everybody tonight saying, I'm going to wake his wife up like, look, if I ever get multiple personalities, you better not kiss any other personalities than me. These are my tells. This is like multiplicity. I kissed a version of you who's a version of you who's a version of you. It's all right, man. It's all in the family.
This is why I say this is cheating.
She got abandoned.
No. Because what she's doing, is she's technically cheating on the memory of her husband. Because really, honestly, I think that Steven is an extension to Mark. Really, I really do. I feel like out of his own maybe PTSD or his inability to be there for his wife, he created Steven. And I think that in that, he's an extension to Mark. But Mark has made it very plain that he does not want to be with his wife and that he's disconnected from her. So she's taking advantage of that, taking advantage of this man that's mentally broken and connecting with a subset of somebody that she knows real consciousness. That's wrong. Because
are you
this
saying...
the thing? No, hear me out. So say they're kissing, right? Or even if they're making love or something stupid like that. If a mirror is to the right, that mirror, Steven knows, looking at that mirror, Mark's looking over there, I'm gonna kill you. And she knows that. She ain't gotta hear it, but she knows that. That's cheating, dog. I'm sorry.
So you're thinking solely from Mark's perspective. Solely from Mark's perspective.
Yeah, it's happening to him.
Well, you try to say that she's Jada-ing his August. Like he's a mentally vulnerable personality right now.
Yeah,
she's taking advantage of him.
She is.
Because her husband isn't present in the way that she wants. Is that what you're trying to say here? You're trying to make her be the bad guy in the situation? Yes. But what about Steven, who denied her own agency and left? But he said he's protecting her, right? But did he come clean with her and give her that choice if that's how she wanted to be protected? We see she's a capable, strong, intelligent woman, and he just denied her agency to just say, if I'm going to take that danger to preserve our marriage. Did he do that?
Look,
no, he did not do that.
All I know is initially Steven denied it and fell back, but then he got caught up. He got caught up in the sugar.
He fell back because he had information she needed to know to make an educated choice, to make an informed choice. Unlike her husband, who made decisions without her and without her informed choice. I'm just saying, people, if you think, oh, I'm not good enough for her, oh, I'm causing these problems, I'm just going to leave. My friendly neighbor will look after her. I'll check in on him 3 years later. How dare you, Bob? How dare you move into my house? Look, that's what just happened.
So what I'm saying is this, right? All right, think about let's think about it a completely different way.
Steven don't owe Mark no loyalty. Steven don't owe Mark no loyalty. No, Mark messed up Steven's life.
No. Let's think about it. Like, I know this is probably not what y'all want to hear, but this is gonna be entertaining for y'all tonight. Trust me. Let's think about it like this. Steven, right? When he's making the choice to connect with her, that is Steven's full decision. I'm not negating that. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a real clear choice and to do that, because if she's giving it to him or she's presenting it to him, he can choose to have this relationship. The difference is this. How do I put it like this? How do I put it? I don't even know how to say it. All right, here we go. So say I'm in my body, right? And I decide that I tell my wife, like, I'm leaving. We're not divorced or anything like that, but I just leave. Like, and she knows that I'm gone or whatever.
Go to another country.
Go to another country or something like that, right? And all of a sudden, like, she connects with you, right? Like, we're still not divorced yet, no papers. She decides that, you're helping her out.
Don't put me in this.
No, listen. No. So this is like, I'm trying to paint a picture real quick. So she starts interacting with you and stuff like that, right? And all of a sudden, like, she gets wind that I'm actually inside of you. Like, I'm actually in your body, right? Okay. And she's like, oh, man. Like, are you okay? What's going on? Like, I'm stuck here. This is a mad situation. I really feel like it's best that you kind of back off because I don't know how dangerous the situation is going to be. I'm saying that through your eyes, through your body, but it's you. And so then she decides, oh, you shouldn't have lied to me. You should have still been in my life. Yada, 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 yada. And she knows I'm in your body, but she decides to still be with you, even though I'm stuck in your body. And tell me that's not cheating, bro. You know it's wrong. You know
okay. All right. It's a little disrespectful. It ain't okay, let's throw the cheating word out there because you had left. But it's disrespectful. Like, hey, you might want to close your eyes. You might want to hum in your head real quick. We're going to go to the kiss. Just turn away. Go to your happy place. Go to your happy place. don't look at the mirrors. we gotta close all mirrors in this situation. Look at that. She meant that. She wanted him to see that kiss. That's why I was so forceful. She wanted him to see that. Feel this.
Man, that man is mentally ill, bro. There's something wrong with her, bro. Look, I'm gonna put her on blast. I'm putting her on blast. The moment that she started, they go. The episode proceeds for it, and they know that for attack, they got to go find the other, the hippo god's tomb. They're trying to find it, and so Ethan Hawke's character intercepts her and lets her know up front, like, yeah, I know about your dad, and your homeboy Mark, he has something to do with it. And she's kind of like, she already ready to flip on this man, Mark. She ain't got no loyalty, bro. I'm sorry. Like, she don't give a damn.
Wait. You just skipped over that Mark had a hand in her daddy's murder-style execution and robbery. And then came and met up with her. And instead of telling her when she first met her, he stalked her, wooed her, dated her. So she married an accomplice to her daddy's murder.
She did.
Is she the one messed up? Maybe this whole relationship started off on some spoiled, haunted ground. You know what I mean? Like maybe this is something that didn't start off in fertile ground to begin with. Yeah. And again, it's your boy Mark keeping secrets. As a matter of fact, in this threesome, Mark don't respect Steven's abilities. He don't respect him as a person, calling him weak and the dumb one and the fool and all that stuff. And he don't respect his wife's agency.
But so this is the thing with that though. And again, this is going back to what I was saying. If Steven, and I even more so, it sounds more valid to what you're saying, that the trauma of what he had to do to her because of what happened with her dad, and then also connecting with her on an emotional level, knowing everything that's about her, everything that she's good at, and he creating the perfect version of himself subconsciously as an extension of himself in Steven. That's who Steven effectively is, right? So if that's the case, even more so, like, no, it's still Mark. It's just an extension of him. But it's kind of like, at the end of the day, I don't know, bro. It's.
I agree with you that
it's weird.
That Steven is probably was not probably the original alter. Like, he was probably created to be the perfect, because what, he's a nerdy scientist English guy, and I bet you when we meet her or see a flashback of her dad or something, he's probably this bookish, kind of socially awkward, probably some accent kind of guy. You know what I mean? Versus what Mark is. So for all we know, Steven is the perfect guy that Mark subconsciously created, or was created out of his subconscious to fulfill the needs that he couldn't. And he's guilt-free because that personality had nothing to do with her father's death.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So and that makes more sense of why he's going to be more jealous, even more incensed that quote unquote the perfect guy is now with his true love.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe
so it's Mark's fault. It's Mark's fault.
I mean, it is his fault.
Sam,
I'm not saying it's not his fault.
Sam, your wife would not cheat on you with an alternate personality in your mind. She would just make sure that he watched the kids and pick up the socks. That's all she would do. She's fine. She gonna love you. She gonna come out. She gonna tell you. If she ever sees it, she's like, "No, baby, I don't talk to What would your alter? What's your alter ego's name? What's your middle name,
His
Sammy?
name's Earl.
Like I would never kiss Earl. I would see Earl wears his hat to the side like this. You wear your hat to the front. That's how I can tell it's y'all. So
but nah,
it's safe, Sam. It's safe.
Nah, I don't know, bro. I just think it's just wrong. I don't know. I really feel like it's wrong because he really isn't mentally coherent. Like he's not all the way there. What kind of relationship can they really have knowing full well that Mark's in? I honestly, like, just being real, it may not be cheating, it may just be disrespectful, but it also doesn't make real conscious sense as the person that is saying to put any way, shape, or form a stake in a relationship like that. I feel like she's trying to gratify herself as opposed to making a real conscious decision.
Well, people with dissociative disorders can have relationships, but I think with someone newly diagnosed like this, who just realized this, it would be an issue to do this right away. It is taking advantage, and honestly, to your point, I would say this is not healthy beginnings for a new relationship at this point, as there's so many boundaries being crossed. So many unhealthy boundaries and functioning being crossed. This is in a crisis moment, and he is not mentally stable or in sound mind to make these kind of decisions.
Right. Matter of fact, segue. Look what happened to my man. Laid out, shot in the water, in a pool of his blood.
Over some baggage of her last relationship. He got shot. Like, can we leave? No, you ask him, like, I mean, I know that's your past, man, but I'm your man now. Can we leave? Can we get out of here so I don't get shot? All right. Well, I just got shot some over your old baggage. I got you. See this, people? Heal your past trauma before you get into new relationships. Start working on that past trauma before you jump into new relationships, especially if those people in the same body.
Yeah, that man preaching right now, y'all. Y'all don't even know. Yeah. Nah, don't
get Sam shot over Earl's stuff. Don't get Sam shot over Earl's BS.
Cause matter of fact, it was Steven that got shot. I mean, they both got shot, but still, technically, it was Steven who just got shot.
Because he's like, let's go. And he's like, no, I want answers. You ask him right now. I don't gotta call your ex to talk about y'all past. Can y'all do that on y'all own time?
Like, bro.
And he got shot. So lessons. Don't take no bullets for people dealing with their past trauma.
So then, not only did my man get shot, his other personality ended up in a psych ward. And his comprehension of reality was tested. Now, I will say, I give them credit for this. This whole moment right here, to me, made the episode. My personal opinion, like everything about how they set up the psych ward left this impression on you that started to question, Mark may be just legit insane. That all this, maybe he does have active abilities, but we don't know what it is to perceive his real reality. Like how much of this is he fabricating in his mind because he is mentally unstable. And it also goes back to, what was the movie? Was it Identity? I think it was Identity, where it was one person, but he had all these different personalities, and one of them was the serial killer, but it was technically still just the same one man. And so a lot of the stuff he was fabricating within his own mind. And it kind of reminded me of that because a lot of the different things that the show had shown, whether it's certain gods, whether it's certain people, like they all showed up in some way, shape, or form in the design of that. How did you feel about the psych ward scene, and what do you think it left an impression for you?
I thought the camera work was really excellent in this part of the show. I like how it gave me a feel of the Joker movie, not just because he was in an asylum, an asylum or mental health facility, but because he became an unreliable narrator at this point, because we're following him, and so we really weren't sure what was going on or who, and even like little things like the doctor's office, like everything being white, not just the walls, but the books were painted white, like the statues painted. We're seeing the 3 different statues and the other gods they're in play here. The light fixture swinging back and forth, so reality's kind of like bending. I love that.
Right.
Him going past another sarcophagus that was trying to. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, he found his other personality, and everything got stable in that. You know what I mean? Everything. It seemed like everything. The camera work got more stable when he found each other. They embraced each other, and
Right.
they were. And that's what the personalities. The personalities were there to defend each other. Well, one of them from what was going on outside. So everything else they couldn't be sure of, even of their own sanity. But once they had each other, they were sure of the reality they decided to accept. And I also like how they walked by and there was other sarcophagus that was shaking. And I'm like, is that a connection to the god still, or is that another personality that was trying to get out?
Yeah.
And so I thought all that was just was beautifully done. And even their reactions were different. Their body movement. I know everybody's going on about his acting in this. He's just playing two different characters. People. I mean, not to say that's not great, but they're doing it in a consistent way, and I love that. Even how they're running down the hallway and their movement is different. They really only shared the same expression once, and that was at the very end, where something completely freaky happened.
Right, which we'll get to that. But no, that third sarcophagus, when I think it was like the second episode or the third episode, I can't remember when, but when Mark was going off and killing certain people, or he thought that's what Steven thought, like, okay, why'd you have to kill this person this way? Why you had to do this? Mark was like, I didn't do it. And that left me to believe initially it was Khonshu. But then I was like, Khonshu would have admitted because Khonshu was a jerk. Mark definitely would have admitted because he doesn't care. So that leads me to believe there may be a more vicious version that we've yet to see. I personally don't like that. I like that there's another version, but we only got 6 episodes, bro. It means within the next 2 episodes, you're gonna introduce a whole nother personality that's gonna be not underdeveloped, but unless they have a season 2, which I guess they are, it's kind of like it's gonna feel really rushed to me. I would have loved that this would have been something that was behind the curtains the whole entire time. Or at least by the 3rd episode, you kind of like you see something where it's a lot more vicious and visceral. Because it would be fascinating to me if this version was probably the harshest of all of them. But yeah, no, I think that that's very promising. But I wish it would have been introduced a lot earlier than now, because yeah, they're gonna probably give him a different suit, different look. I don't know what the accent or the function is gonna be, but I don't think they would have introduced that sarcophagus if they wouldn't brought up the third personality.
I think I agree with you, unless they do it as a teaser or something at the end or a stinger. But I think you're right. The setup would have been nice if we had just seen aftermath of certain scenes, and maybe they were just a little bit more visceral, a little bit more animalistic or something. Like you could tell it was a different level of brutality. Because they might, and for all we know, we might look back and there might have been a bunch of hints that we don't really see until the end. I do see that in all the paper, all the artwork we've seen, or like even the pictures you got the background for, like you see them in the main suit, the sacred robes. We see, I'm assuming that's Mark with the hoodie, just because that's how serious he is. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And the other one's supposed to be Steven, right? But in all the artwork, we see Steven acting really cocky. Like, look at his head tilt right in this picture. His head's tilted back. I think he's doing the ice veins thing. I can't tell.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Even in the when he's straightening his tie and other promotional art, it's very cocky, bravado in his language. We haven't seen that in this, even when he does transform into the suit. So I'm wondering, is that what he's leading towards, or is there just another body using that particular costume? I mean, not another body, another like an alternate personality using that. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Let's look at it.
Yeah, no, I think it is interesting because I mean, you could take this poster that's behind us as though, okay, this is one man, with 2 different personalities, 2 different costumes, or you could take it as that there are 3 different individuals, and that whoever the center is, we haven't seen what their actual suit is gonna be, because
right. Yeah, you're right. Because look, so you have the picture on the left, and you have the face, and then the other. Then you have you have the two costumes, and that face another costume. None of them are Khonshu. Like none of them are Khonshu. So, I mean, they could have been telling us. I don't know, people. Is this conspiracy theory, or did we just map this out?
It could have been all along. It could have been all along, because we don't know. We really don't know. But I just, for me, when it's a limited series like this and it's only 6 episodes, I just don't want them to rush it, bro. I do love how the ending was like, this is so out there. It's so out there.
Both of them freaked out. Both of them freaked out in that one. Because the light gray is Mark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the light gray is Mark. And that's the only time they shared the same kind of like, that and the hug were the only 2 times, I guess, that they shared the same like body expressions. It was like, nope, this is even too weird for us. There's a hippo nurse looking at me right now. I'm good. I'm good.
It was really weird. But no, I actually really dug this episode. I mean, I talked a lot of trash about the complexities of this weird relationship. Honestly, bruh, Mark would have probably got punched. Or no, Steve would have probably got punched if it was me. I wouldn't have gave him a hug. But I think that for Mark, he needed, like you said, he needed a sense of stability, of understanding that, we're actually schizophrenic and mentally broken, but that's real. Like this is actually real. And I he was starting to question his sanity. And as soon as he saw Steven, realized, okay, this is real. Okay. Like that was when they were kind of able to center themselves. It is really weird though. Why would they be outside themselves? Was it the hippo god that saved Steven's life?
That's my theory. That's my theory. I think the statue broke. So we know that they get trapped or retired the statues or whatever, right? So the statue broke. When they got shot, is this in their minds? Is the hippo trying to protect? Because the hippo took the hippo god took the appearance of a nurse, right? The dress of a nurse. The hippo god trying to save his body and his mind just before he gets to death or something like that? Is that what's going on here? And the hospital is his like mind mansion or whatever. So I don't know. That's my theory though, is that the hippo is trying to save him.
Bruh, I have absolutely no idea, because this is the thing, like I don't know, because it's weird, because when they had the meetings with the other gods, I can't remember, was the hippo there?
No, not that I know of, but let me.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here. Yeah, she's looking weird, man. She got her little vest thing on and everything.
Oh, not a nurse. I am so disrespectful. I thought that it was like an old timey, like 1950s nurse. I don't even know where I got nurse from. My bad.
She got some dreads on. Got a little bug pendant from the Mummy. Yeah, it's straight up.
So
I don't know.
It's I wouldn't even try to pronounce that, but it's the Egyptian god of fertility and childbirth.
That makes sense. And
it's supposed to have the appearance of a hippo with lion arms and a crocodile tail and legs. Okay. That's like the most popular household deity of worship in ancient Egypt. Okay.
That is really freaking weird.
Was an ancient symbol of protection and rebirth. So
that makes a lot of sense. Rebirth.
Yeah.
So literally, that's how they're gonna come back to life.
Yeah. So that could be something. And I'm seeing the crocodile arms now in that picture you had, like the scaly shoulders and whatnot.
Right.
All right. Look at that. We learned something, people. Knowledge is power.
So you guys were entertained tonight or today, whenever you're watching this, by a conversation about a 3-way relationship and some disrespectful things going on, and the lack of Ethan Hawke's presence that doesn't matter.
How dare you leave me? You're gonna watch me. You're gonna watch me live my best life.
Matter of fact, Ethan Hawke was better in this.
As a doctor than he has been as a villain.
The whole, I was just like, you know what? You stay in that lane. Stay
You
that
know
lane.
what? I thought they got somebody like him because they needed somebody to match the acting skills of the protagonist, right? And they just, and this is 6 episodes, right? It was a 6-episode series.
Only 6 episodes.
So, I mean, he had to do a lot of work on the last 2 episodes to like justify his paycheck because this could have been anybody. This literally could have been any actor. This could have been any character actor. You would have, that just there's nothing that's been brought to the role so far, in my opinion. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the last 2? Are you excited for the last 2? Any complaints so far? Any challenges with this season besides him?
Shoot, man, dude, I don't care about him as a villain because I don't know anything really about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no connective tissue to make me empathize or be concerned for his capability.
Conchu's a bigger antagonist to me to this situation.
Dude, he is, and he's interesting. He's very interesting. And I don't know that much about him, but from where he interacts with the main characters and his willingness to do certain things, way more interesting. I would love to see more of him. I would love to see more of him. I don't like that they're waiting to give us another alter because I feel like it's gonna come out either the last episode or the next episode, and it may be really cool, but I don't want it to be a cool moment. I want, them as a whole to progress. Because even if they had 3 or they had 7 alters, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole point of it is allowing the progression to meet or justify the means of where the story or the narrative is going. And
like
it's kind of
Doom
like
Patrol, like the girl in Doom Patrol, where they kind of go through different, and you get a taste of who they are. And yeah, okay.
Like, they gave that to you straight up. You know what I'm saying? And she did it all without you even actually seeing it, and I think in doing it that way, it made the character even more special. And at the same time, you empathize with why it's so, because like you said, with the Doom Patrol character, like Baby Doll versus somebody else, like, you're like, oh wow, man, there are other facets to this as to why you need this character and why they need each other, kind of thing. And it's kind of like, if you have a third alter, why are they there at this point? Like, what is the connective tissue for them? Like, why are they essential to the makeup of this one man?
That's a good question.
I feel like there's no way they're gonna be able to do that in 2 episodes, and I know they're gonna try, and I think they're gonna fail. They always, with Marvel, they always try to have a big old fight scene that's gonna
Marvel got a Marvel
and do this. But if and because there's no violence in this, when I mean by violence, I mean actual blood. I mean like decapitations or something that's happening to humans. Something that, like, you seeing like a mortar wound and actually seeing it. They're not using these parental controls at all for the show, and they don't care. They're still keeping to their exact market, even though this is what I was going to say, and we were having a conversation beforehand. I feel like it was bad marketing. Well, not bad marketing. It was smart marketing, but I think it was dishonest marketing when, before Moon Knight came out, they put all these Netflix and other shows at the same time while releasing the parental controls. So you're thinking in your head like, oh, okay, this is in preparation for Moon Knight. Moon Knight is going to be very visceral. It's going to be very edgy. It's going to be very,
and the teasers were kind of brutal. They hinted at some brutality.
Like, they showed, I think on the posters, there was like his hands were bloody. I think his whatchamacallit, his size or whatever they are bloody. Bro, I ain't seen no blood in this whole entire show, dog. Not even on Mark. I've never even seen Mark bloody. Never seen his face bloody.
And it's a brutal character. And so when you have a show where bruises don't show up and where, you don't see things broken or bloody at all and you see high impacts but no damage, it kind of takes some of the Marvel just has to. So overall, I'm gonna say this: I enjoy the show. All your concerns are the concerns I have. My big thing though would be you got to pick a lane, and if you're gonna do a brutal character, then you're gonna have to If you don't want to put him on Disney Plus, that's fine. Put him on Hulu. Like, but you gotta pick a lane, because this character only works on a certain level. And I think, to me, what I think I said, I've been saying for a while since we've seen it, is when he got impaled with those different spears and there was no blood, no movement. You've taken all stakes out the situation for me when he has the costume on. And I really enjoyed this episode, but he was vulnerable this episode. And I don't want to see a situation where his kryptonite is getting his suit taken away every other episode so we can feel there's some kind of danger or impact, right? But like you said, even in the humans aren't really showing any kind of signs of damage at all from these brutal things. And when you put that against like Daredevil or Jessica Jones or something like that, where you see, oh man, they still have that bruise from 5 episodes ago, or that, they walk like that. And then we also saw what they did with Kingpin and Hawkeye, and it was great to have him back, but he was a cartoonish version of himself if you really think about it. And that's scary. Scary.
This is false advertising, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where the heck this blood came from that man's hands or his face, but it was not in the show.
It's a ketchup packet going wrong, I think, because.
and I'm not saying it's got to be
image. No, but look at this image. His all white suit, like, that's a powerful. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to see hang out with Daredevil and the Bishop.
Right. And I'm not saying every episode's got to be bloody. I'm not even saying that every Marvel series has got to be edgy or bloody either. But with a character like this, you had an opportunity of really just letting loose. And I feel like some of the brutality would have added to the instability of the situation. You have an unstable character. You got an unstable situation from a Marvel standpoint because you're dealing with gods. You're dealing with an Egyptian god that's possessed,
unhinged Egyptian god,
threatening to possess and use his own wife, as well as
hostage. Yeah.
You got Ethan Hawke as a character, even though I, don't care for him or anything like that. Like, he literally can suck the life out of a judgment call that's in him, and he came from being a previous Moon Knight supposedly as well. So it's like you would think that brutality would be a big element to this, and it's just not. And I think that
everything doesn't.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say everything doesn't have to be for 13-year-olds. Everything doesn't have to be for 13-year-olds or 9-year-olds. You can have the Power Pack. You can have a Power Pack show, and you can have a Moon Knight show. You could have some of these characters that there are plenty of like young kid, like preteen acceptable Marvel heroes, and then there's heroes that are getting into some brutality stuff that's part of their character. You neuter them, and I wonder. Now it's right. I wonder if Ethan Hawke is he muted because they can't do certain things? You know what I mean? Is he muted in how? Because like you said, he's sucking the life out of people and making these judgment calls. And we saw him. I think he ended the older woman. I can't remember who he ended. No, he might let the older woman live, and he killed somebody else because something he might do in the future or something like that. Mm-hmm. That could be a really terrifying thing to do with no blood. You don't need blood to do that. But that could be like the Joker gas of this show. You know what I mean? Where the Joker gas is terrifying. There's no blood to Joker gas, but it's a terrifying effect, and you're not even utilizing that into an effective way. In my opinion.
Look, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna put this out here, and I'm not like, look, me and Aunt effectively love superhero shows and what they can do, what their potential is. But this character right here, I'm gonna say this. I swear, if in the Blade movie or show or whatever the heck this is supposed to be, if they don't show no gosh darn blood, you give me some synthesized blood, or you give me some him killing just creatures and not actual vampires, fam, I may have to take a fall back, man. I'm not gonna lie, on Marvel, because this is Blade. It's like I already saw what happened with Morbius, and I don't want that to be what's going on with Blade, bro. Like, you cannot have Blade be. Nah, dude. I don't know. I think that's what scares me. I was hoping that Moon Knight would open me up to idea that Blade would be possible or plausible, or even the next Deadpool 3 was gonna be rated R, presumably. This is not proving that to me. This is not proving that to me. So
this reminds me in the 90s when they had Blade and Morbius on the Spider-Man cartoon. Instead of sucking blood, because it was Fox had his hand sucking energy and things like that. And that's because Fox had a lot of rules for like Spider-Man couldn't punch anybody, he couldn't do a bunch of stuff like that. Like it was crazy. So you flip over to Batman. Batman is whooping like Batman knocking out teeth. Spider-Man can't even hit anybody. So Morbius is sucking energy, not sucking blood, and they tried to give us that Blade. That doesn't work. You can literally have it all. You can have heroes that everybody can watch. You can have heroes that mainly it's like younger kids are going to watch. You can have things that older fans are going to watch, and through osmosis, younger fans are going to like it too. They're going to like it too, and then we go. There's young kids parroting the Squid Games. Why? Because the Squid Games is good, and if you make a good show, it trickles down to everything else.
Yeah, them suction cups.
Oh, that was so bad.
You know the funny thing though, like back when this came out, this was fresh, bro. Because honestly, some of the way they introduced some of these characters, this is our first time really seeing them on a animation standpoint. And like when they showed Punisher, I didn't believe that Punisher was sitting there blowing people away. Not in the way that show was, you know. When Man Spider came out there, I didn't think it was gonna be a horror situation, even though it's kind of scary. Now, when Blade sit there and had his darn laser sword, I was questioning some things. And when Morbius had his little suction cups, but the thing I'll say about this is they made the story work for their narrative. It worked really well for what it is. But when you start to talk about this on the live action standpoint, and you take all those different characters on the live action format and adapt them, it can't be like that. It has to be its own thing. When you go through an adaptation, you have to make it your own. You have to make it make sense. If it doesn't make sense and you're trying to fit it into something that's not, then you need to take a different approach with it. And it's like with these shows, I can see it having to be a certain kind of way with movies. But with the shows, they don't have to be. No, I think that's the thing that perplexes me with the whole thing. Like the shows, like most shows now are generally violent. Like they don't have any limitations necessarily.
And you're just removing blood. like it's not. You're still impaling people and telling us you're cutting them. We have a weird. It's a weird thing. But you could even do this. Remember back in the day, they had Toonami, and then they had Midnight Run, where like you'd have Gundam, and Gundam would be edited on Toonami, and it was still edited for America, but then they were calling like doing Midnight Run, be like I'm the god of death, when in Toonami is like I'm the Lord of Destruction or some stuff like that, and you see more people die in Midnight Run. Hey, if you really care that much, do an edited version. Put an edited version on Disney Plus on Wednesdays, and then put the uncut version on Hulu on Thursdays. You know what I mean? Like we just Disney removed that blood and stuff like that. Please do not change Daredevil. If you're gonna put Daredevil on Disney Plus, don't. Just don't. It's like going back and putting a mustache on the Mona Lisa. Don't do it.
Dude.
Don't do it. Don't put a leaf over David's crotch. It's okay. The statue David, people, if you didn't know what I was talking about. Like, dude, all right, we can move on.
It's like Hercule versus Mr. Satan. Like, I'm trying to think about how this is gonna work, honestly, though, because, man, how are they gonna do this? Anyway, I'm not gonna try to focus on that too much, but I am concerned, and I thought that this was a good opportunity. They could have like really let loose, but they just haven't. And I doubt that the last 2 episodes are gonna just happen to be rated R. Like, I don't see that happening. So
we're enjoying it. It's just the ghost of Christmas future is whispering to y'all. if this disseminates through the fan base, like this is the Ghost Christmas future, you're messing up. Like, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're limiting what could be, and also you want to keep fans that are watching Disney Plus. You want to keep them into adulthood. You want to keep the adult fans until they're in their 60s. You want to keep their, this can be a multi-tiered, Disney, and you've been slow to turn the ship. You're not just doing princesses and and kids anymore. Like evolve is my thing.
Yeah. Wait till Wolverine comes onto the scene. The new Wolverine. He's gonna be just cutting down robots.
Remember the X-Men cartoon? He ain't cut anybody if it wasn't a robot. He got beat up all the time because there was one guy, he just jumped on his head. Instead of stabbing him, he would always just jump on his head and leg lock.
He did.
It was like it got beat up. It was like I get it.
So yeah. Anyway, hopefully you guys were entertained. Hopefully we opened you up to some interesting ideas and thoughts, and we're gonna get out of here, and maybe we will do this on time next time for episode 5. We'll try. Peace, people. Filing out the top of the I can see skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing.